I'm now with Mike Dean on the Marie Curie stand. Good afternoon, Mike, and welcome to Classic Restoration Show 2023.
Thank you. It's nice to be here yet again. Morris Club come every year. We've been coming here for more than 20 years, and we usually come along and bring some of our cars to show off and get some idea about what's going on with the classic scene over the season. This car's our charity car for this year, as you said, Marie Curie. We work with Marie Curie a lot because Marie Curie, by coincidence, are the same age we are. So when we have an anniversary, they have an anniversary. It fits that way. So we do more fundraise. We fundraise for a lot of charities, but Marie Curie is one that we return to time and time again. Whenever we have a big anniversary, we work with them. We worked with them 5 years ago on their 70th and our 70th, and we did a car that did a Land's End John O'Groats run, and we raised I think it was £40,000 over the year with that. With various events. This car's a bit different, as you can see. It's a bit in your face. Only 3 weeks ago, that was a standard blue saloon, fairly down at heel. It had been donated to the club by its owner, who stopped using it and left it in the barn for a few years. It needed a little bit of fettling to get it running again. But once it had done that, we said, right, what are we going to do with it? And they gave it to myself and a couple of other people and said, right, okay, come up with an idea, work on it, and the only design brief we had was to make it distinctive, and I think you'll agree that that's very distinctive. We went away, did some graphics up for it, came up with some ideas, spoke to a wrapping company, and it is a complex shape. Morris Minor is an incredibly complex shape. It's not an easy car to wrap, so the wrapping company were a bit struggling with what we'd do with it. They've done a cracking job. We're really pleased with it. And now the car's here this weekend, and after this weekend we'll give it over to Marie Curie and to a couple of other car clubs and say, okay, take it away, see what you can raise with it.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, it's a cracking job. I mean, it's an amazing job they've done. I didn't even realise it was a wrap.
No, many people didn't. I've got some photos that I'm happy to share with you of only a few weeks ago, even during the wrap. It was such a complex vehicle to wrap. When I phoned the company and said, we've got a car we want wrapping, they said, yeah, no problems, we wrap cars all the time. I said, yeah, not this type of car. And the lady I spoke to said, I've never heard of it. What's a Morris Minor? So, okay, I better bring you the car and show you. But she was determined that we didn't need to see it. We submitted all the graphics, we got everything organised, and then she saw the car and she said, and as you can see, it's come out fantastic. But it was a hard vehicle to wrap. They ended up just wrapping the car itself entirely in yellow, without any graphics at all, and then added the graphics over the top because it was too complex to try and do the whole thing in one. It is a complex shape, and yes, it's come out so well. You know, you wouldn't believe that under there is a fairly
bog standard Morris Minor.
Yeah, just a plain old average girl. She'll get out over the year. She's going to be doing a fair few thousand miles, hopefully, during the year, visiting lots of events, hopefully Marie Curie events, more than Morris Minor events. At the end of the day, as well as raising money, which is obviously the primary goal, but as well as that, if we can send it to events that aren't classic car events, we can try and raise our own profile too, which is about what it's about. You know, we don't want to just do the same thing that we've done in the previous years, you know, and raise money. Oh, right, here's a fiver for your pot. We wanted to try and raise our own profile, and getting the car out, getting it visible. It's more visible than I thought it would be.
You won't miss it on the road, would you?
No, you certainly won't miss it. But getting it out there, passing it around and sending branches out with it, sending Marie Curie out with it, we're fairly confident that anywhere it goes, it's going to raise some attention, and that does the job for us. It sells itself.
Yellow Morris Minor available for functions.
yeah, we'll take it anywhere you like, anywhere we can raise some. I mean, like I say, it will go to big events, but it's not purely about that. Our cars go to our fundraising cars go to events throughout the year, but they usually see the same people. You know, the same. We go around to those events all the time, and we're happy to chuck a few bob in the pot, but we're not actually widening the circle by doing that.
I know what you mean, exactly, yeah. I mean, I know when I come to these shows, I do something which has been a good interview, and I'm interested in the car, yeah, and I want to go back to that, but I think, no, you've got to move on to something else. You know, there's more people want okay, you've got people who are interested in Morris Minor, say, but there's other makes here. There's hundreds of makes here.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's a massively wide show as normal. Just in this hall alone, I think there's 30 or 35 marks. And they're all cars, well, the majority of cars that we used to idolise as children. There's a lot of Ford stands here. I was a Ford lad when you can tell from my accent. I was a Ford lad when I was a kid, so I did a lot of years in Ford clubs before I came to join the Morris Minor Club. There's a car for everyone, and the idea is just this is a huge hobby. You know, people do say about the classic car industry or classic car world. Oh, you're just polluting old cars. You know, you're out there doing. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. And that ignores a huge movement. That, you know,
they don't know the movement, do they? They don't know about what the classic car is all about.
Exactly so. You know, we raise a huge amount of money every year. Not charity cars. I mean, the industry itself's worth a lot of money. I think it's something like 30 billion a year. It's a staggering amount of money. We're doing, as you can see on the car itself, we're doing an offset this year. It's a new concept for us. We'll be recognising this year that the car's doing a fair bit of running around. That is fairly spurious mileage, really. You know, just fun mileage. And we want to recognise our debt to the environment, if you like, and we're paying a company called Curie. They're actually here somewhere. Curie are carbon offsetters, and they'll be planting trees that we've funded directly in relation to the car in order to offset some of the carbon that we're emitting.
Well, thank you very much for the information, Mike. That was very detailed, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.